Where's Medium these days? What's going on with Medium?
Medium is rocking. We are growing our subscription product. We're getting more and more great writers and great content in the system behind the paywall. It's working really well. Excited about how it's going.
It started as an elegant, pretty place for blogging. You've recently added subscriptions. What's the thinking behind that?
Our goal was always to enable the creation and distribution of very high quality stories and perspectives. The economic model is most complementary was charging consumers directly.
As opposed to charging?
As opposed to advertising. Our belief is there's a feedback loop. When you charge consumers directly, you have to give them really great stuff. If you are charging advertisers, you have to get people's attention. And those two things are not always correlated.
You started with a blogging platform, then there were some editors, then you worked with publishers, then there were no editors. What's your human relations with editing these days?
Technically, we've always had editors since very early days, and we've never fully moved away from having some editorial component in Medium. And the way that's evolved most recently is we do some traditional editorial where we are commissioning and working on stories, producing stories with external writers. We have no internal writers. And we are also working with writers that are on the platform organically to make their stories even better. We are growing our editorial team right now, actually.
I've read that we're in a post-text world. Do people still read?
Yeah, I think that's largely a myth. I think obviously people consume other types of media as well, but I don't think people have ever read more in the history of humanity than they do now. We've also been dabbling with audio, and that's part of the Medium subscription as well.
What do people read on Medium more than you expected they would?
This probably isn't surprising to anyone else, but cryptocurrency is big. We have practitioners and experts in the field. Talking, debating, etc., explaining things. So it works well. It's a perfect type of Medium topic.
In addition to Medium, you were also one of the founders of Twitter. Twitter, of course, is getting a lot of attention now for interfering with democracy. Do you think that is a problem that is solvable, or do you think that as these platforms have just become so big that that's not a solvable problem?
I think the problem is slightly overstated, not that they're slightly too focused on social media as opposed to media in general. I mean, I think social media is like people on television beat up on social media. Television has been a much more coercive effect on society over the last generation than social media. There's definitely things being done. Maybe they should have been done sooner, but I think there's going to be progress made.
I can edit a Medium post. Should I be able to edit a tweet?
Tweets, they're I don't know the answer.
Wow, no answer. Okay. Thanks, F.